Hey, this video is about using the Save for Web command in Photoshop. Officially, it's called the Save for Web and Devices, but I shortened it to Save for Web because there's a similar command by that name in Adobe Illustrator that will use more or less the same process. So we want to look at why we would use that. And saving files in Photoshop, a couple of basics to remember about saving files in general. One is that saving as a PSD file will save your layers and text so you can come back and edit them later. If you have lots of layers and text and effects and stuff, you want to be able to make changes to that over time, so over the course of a project you can get it dialed into the way you want. Problem there is that PSD files do not work on the internet. So what are we supposed to do if we want to share it with somebody or put it on the internet, since the PSD file is really only used in Photoshop itself? And then there's always the need that we want to maintain a high resolution copy of our project with all layers, effects, and text editable at all times. So like, how am I supposed to save a file for the internet without wrecking my PSD file? Well, I'm glad you asked, because we want to use the Save for Web and Device command to create extra files in terms of your PNGs or your JPEGs or your GIFs. So we want to look at how to use that command. First, you're going to choose the File, Save for Web and Devices. Now, File, of course, is the menu at the top, and about halfway down there's a Save for Web and Devices command. This will open up a dialog box, and in that dialog box you'll find the area to set the image size to the pixel dimensions that you want to use. Now, if you've done a crop previous to this, you may want to just set one dimension and leave the other one to itself. Within that, you can also there's tabs that you can use to be able to test different file type presets to see what kind of results you get in terms of quality and file size. So in each sample window, you're going to choose a different preset, and we'll show you that in just a second here. And then choose the version that has the best balance of file size and image quality, and click Save and save it to your folder. So let's take a look at how we can actually use this in Photoshop. So let's take a look and see how this works in an actual photo that we've been editing with. So I've got a few layers here that I want to make sure that if I decide to, I want to come back later and like change all my edits or get rid of them or something like that. So I've cropped this already. And it's a good idea if I cropped it to save a separate file that's not cropped, so I can make other crops out of it if I want to. Anyways, let's take a look at this, and this image is good. It's got lots of layers and I want to maintain those. Let's take a look, for example, at the image size. So image size tells me that I've got a 3,000 pixel wide image. That's pretty big. That's a good sized picture. It says it's 41 inches by 20 inches roughly, 72 pixels per inch. So it's a low-res file, but it's a huge picture. So what I need to do is I need to generate a smaller image to put on the internet. So I'm going to use the File, Save for Web and Devices command. If I go to File, about halfway down, a little more, there's this command called Save for Web and Devices. So the Save for Web and Devices command will open up this dialog window, and it may show up different size on your computer, but when it opens, you're going to see original, you're going to see optimized, you'll see 2 up and 4 up. Before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and pick an image size I want to get to. So the image size will be right here. So I'm going to go there first, because any changes I make to the other stuff will be quicker if I do this. So I go 800. And all I did was choose the width, and it chose the automatic height because I've already got a cropped image and wanted to stick to the dimensions of the picture. If I unlock this, then I'm going to get some weird results, and my proportions will be all goofy. So you want to plan ahead about that. So there's that, and then if I go over here, it resizes the image. So that's 800 pixels wide now, and that shows me what it looks like. I can zoom out if I want to. I can zoom in if I want to. So I'm using the controls down here to show me what the picture looks like up here. Next, I'm going to go to 4 up, and I'm up here at the top, and I choose these tabs, and this lets me choose different file types. Here's the PNG 24. Here's a JPEG 30 quality. Here's a JPEG 10 quality. So 30 is high quality. And the PNG 24 gives me a 413 kilobyte image, where the JPEG gives me a 16.53 kilobyte image. And then this JPEG here gives me an even smaller picture. But I do need to compare image quality. So I look at these and I go, you know what, this PNG 24 comes out pretty nice. And the next quality down is a little bit worse. So I'm going to go with the PNG 24. Really, in the big picture, gosh, how much is 413K? That's half a megabyte. That is 76 seconds at a regular speed. So I'm actually going to go with the JPEG. It works pretty good. It's better than the old JPEG. It's Not as good as the original, but I'm going to choose this, and I'm going to go with the balance of image quality and file size. If it takes too long to transfer, it's going to block up your system's usage, or your end user is going to take a long time to download, and they might not wait around for it. So this one here has a reasonable balance of file size and image quality. And now I'm going to click Save. So I can save this as dog run. It automatically puts the file name extension on it. And I click Save. So now when I come back to my PSD file, I still have all my layers. I still have in my image size, I still maintain my high resolution, high quality image. And if I go File Open, I still have the other copy of the dog run JPEG image. So the difference is this one's smaller and same picture, but this one's only, like in this case, I made this one 300 pixels wide. And so I've got different file quality. Where this one I zoom in, got nice resolution. Zoom in the same area here, not quite as good resolution. So that tells me that this one's ready to go on the web because it'll transfer fast. So that's how you use File Saver for Web and Devices to make images and maintain your original files. Have fun.